introduce you to a very distinguished scholar and a great leader of Islamic world. Yusuf Estes is with us. He reverted to Islam almost 31 years ago. And today he is going to share with us what led him to become a Muslim and how this journey of his life as a Muslim has been. So it is going to be a great inspirational and motivational learning session for us. We are going to have two things. We are going to have this night dedicated as a night for dua and night for learning. Now, when we are going to be doing these two actions, then you all are going to participate in this. The next 2 hours we are going to be here, inshallah, here. This is ibadah for us, and we are going to do the dua throughout this time, and then we are going to have some lesson learned from this which we can use in our life, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran, and I have only created jinn and mankind to worship me. Concept of dua or prayer, completely submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His rights to be worshipped. So as a Muslim, the first thing we acknowledge is Tawheed. And we say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is creator, He is the most powerful, He is the most merciful. Now in our heart of heart, we truly believe that. Then dua comes from there. So your prayer and your dua is the real worship. And dua is the essence of worship. So tonight I will request you, and I will remind myself first, that while you are very attentively listening to these great scholars, please recite Durud Pak or Asmaul Husna. So hopefully in next 90 minutes, you can recite 500 times or close to 2,000 times, inshallah. So after Imam Bakir speak about this, we will have Imam Umar Farooq address this, and then finally our beloved speaker, Imam Yusuf will speak, inshallah. Imam Bakir.
This is my count. One. Which is my all of us. Alright, we're switched on one. Change the lighting or the.
And we're coming to you almost live from right here in Missouri, Kansas. Are we in Kansas? Oh, yeah. Where's the dog? Toto? No, you don't know about the over the rainbow. Never mind about that. Anyway, alhamdulillah, we are coming to you almost live. We say almost live because there is. So speaking of phones, we have a brand new phone app that anybody can watch Guidance TV 24 hours a day
for free, and the app is free, and there's no ads, there's no commercials, there's no spam. We don't even need your email address to load you up with a bunch of stuff that you don't want anyway. So all of that is free, free, free. How do you get it? It's real easy. If you have your phone out, take your phone out, please. Everybody take your phone out. All right. I don't want to call in backup. All right. Now, open up your phone and open the browser so that you can ask it to give you what? Guide us. We always say that. Idina Siratul Mustaqim, right? So guide us, guideus.app. And it will automatically give you a little thing that is on your, like a little icon, a picture, and then you can click that and you can watch this anytime. And we go out now. And the second thing is to share our many links. We have over 4,200 different websites. And all you have to do is remember one, because it connects with so many of them. ShareIslam.com. That's pretty easy to remember, right? You want to share Islam? ShareIslam.com. Simple. And as soon as you watch it and you see it, you say, whoa, this has got a bunch of websites on it, and I don't even have to remember anything. Whoa, cool. Also, the next thing is to share that with other people. Now, suppose there might be somebody on this planet who doesn't like Islam. I'm not sure, but maybe there's somebody who does not like Islam already. Is that right? Possible. Maybe. So what do we do if I say I want to give you this Share Islam, they'll be like, no way. So what do? You give them another one of our websites, Expose Islam. Yeah, I'll take that. Guess what? Same website. And what's nice is, it doesn't tell you to become a Muslim or not. No, it gives you an image, a beautiful artwork image, and you can click it or turn the page and just go through it. There's nice images. And for instance, suppose you went to, the second one is God Allah. Well, that's a good question. Is God Allah? Now the questions are on the left side of all of the pages. You click a question, and we did this before Google did it. Now Google has this, where they drop down, you want to talk about any subject, you click a link and it goes, question, they give you the answer. Yeah, maybe they got it from us. Maybe we should sue them, what do you think? I don't know. Anyway, so the questions are there. Is there really a God? Click, answer. Is there any proof? Click, answer. Why Allah? Click, answer. And this particular one has an audio with it telling you all about the why we say Allah. SubhanAllah. And after you spend a few hours going through all of this, you'll see that there are many people who, even though they say they're Muslim, they'll watch this and say, you know what, I didn't know that. I didn't know this. I didn't know this or this and so on. And it will help all of us get closer to Allah, get closer to the Jannah, and farther away from the shaitan and farther away from the hellfire, inshallah. Yeah. Now, in this program tonight, I want you to help me remember something. Because, you know, I'm from America, right? And actually, before I became a Muslim, I used to be a white guy. Astaghfirullah. Yeah. Now I just want to be a Muslim. I don't care about color, and I don't care about race. I don't care about where somebody is from. I like to learn where you're from because I let you talk about your background. But as far as saying, oh, this country or that country, no, I don't care, because it all belongs to Allah. And you are my brothers and my sisters. Assalamualaikum. MashaAllah. And I'm glad that we're also in America. You know why? Because we have something called freedom of speech and freedom to gather together. And most important, freedom of religion. All of these things are guaranteed in the very first amendment of the Constitution. Did you know that? I love it. Ha ha. Now, I want you to help me remember something though. Because I am American, and because I'm actually from Texas, I like to say, wow! But one of our sheikhs told me, don't say wow, say mashallah. Can you help me with that? Say it. Wow, mashallah. Alhamdulillah. I got it? Almost. Alhamdulillah. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. But we're also going to be talking about what it's like when somebody comes into Islam. Because when somebody comes into Islam, this is a big culture shock. It's more than a religious shock. It's a whole new life. A lot of times when somebody comes to Islam, their families cut them off. But sometimes the Muslim himself, a brand new Muslim, he will cut off his family. And why? Now I understand the misunderstandings that some people have, and they will say, oh, well, you know, my son, he became a Muslim, but he'll get over it. He'll come back. This is what they would say. But what about the Muslim who says, well, I don't know what to do? And they say the first thing they want to tell them about takbir, Allahu Akbar, takbir, Allahu Akbar, takbir, Allahu Akbar. Okay, you got all of that. And slap them on the back, everybody give a hug, and then give him a book, send him out the door, forget it, next. That's what happens. But he started asking questions. One of the first things that's going to come to him, though, what did you change your name to, boy? What? I had to change my name? Yeah, you got to change your name. You became a Muslim now. You got to have a Muslim name. My son-in-law, Ahmed, he wrote an article for me one time to put up on our newsroom. There's no such thing as a Muslim name. Did you know that? Wait a minute. We have a real sheikh with us. Okay? Let's ask him. Is there such a thing as a Muslim name? No. A Muslim name means that this is only for Muslims. Like if you have a car and it's a sedan, but it's a Toyota Sienna, it's not a van, it's not a sedan, it's a van. Toyota Sienna, that's its name. Now you cannot have a Toyota Sienna that looks like a Volkswagen, right? Because that's the name of it. So this is, we understand that. But how come we have to change our name if we come to Islam? What did Omar have to change his name to? Oh, that's right. He just kept it. Omar. Wait a minute. Oh. What did Abu Bakr have to change? No, he just kept his name too, didn't he? Oh, what? Khadija, radiallahu anha. What did she change her name? Oh, no, she just kept her name. Oh. Mu'adh bin Jabal. Did he change his name to maybe a smaller mountain? Bin Jabal, right? Small mountain. No, he didn't change anything. Oh, the one that we follow without exception, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What did he change his name Oops. It was already being called Ahmed, yeah. Mahmoud, yeah. Mohammed, Mustafa. You got any more?
Taha. There is some narrations that he was also named Taha, Yasin.
But he didn't have to change any of those. Nothing. So why are we insisting that a brand new Muslim has to change his name? Ryan, did you have to change your name? No, I like Ryan. Ryan is good. It's cool. Sounds like something out of Star Wars. I don't know. Ryan.
It was war.
Yeah, one guy's name was Harb, right? You know what Harb is? Everybody know what's Harb? War. So the Prophet ﷺ asked somebody to change his name because it's a bad name. But somebody had a bad name and he didn't want to change it. So he didn't change it. Prophet ﷺ didn't chop his head off or anything like that. So I think that should be, if somebody asks you, what name do you think I should have, that ask them what their name is already, and then ask them if they like their name. Let me tell you why. Here's why. Ryan, if you change your name, do you know your mother and your father are going to be upset about it? Because they gave you that name. And they've been calling you that name ever since you were real little. And they think Ryan is my son. But if you change your name, it's not my son anymore. And Shaitan wins, because now your whole family is not going to become a Muslim just because you changed your name. So I advise all of the people watching right here, don't even go into that. That is not something from Islam, and it is not something that we should be doing, especially in these days. We should be helping the families. Do you ever have family night in this masjid? Family night? Okay. When was the last time you invited families that weren't Muslim? Oh, it's called family night, not Muslim family night. So anybody has a family, they should be able to bring their family, yeah? Right? What about Ryan's family? Maybe they would like to come and see what's going on. Especially if it's free food. Huh? Maybe they're going to have some kind of dancing going on over here. Oh, they don't dance. What do they do? Oh, they have a guy who sings a beautiful song. Oh, really? Yeah. Let's go listen to somebody sing a song. Huh? Yeah. But it's all right. They think that the Quran is a song. One time that happened to me. They asked me to give a talk about what Islam says about death and dying. And it was to real old people. All right? And I went. And at the end of it, a man came up to me and he said, "Oh, I think you sing so beautiful." I said, "What?" He said, "That song you were singing is so nice." And I was thinking, I didn't sing. I can't sing. I sound horrible. And I sure didn't sing a song, but maybe he's crazy, you know. He's an old guy. You know, old guys are all kind of... Why are you looking at me? Anyway, so then I thought about it and I said, wait a minute. I did recite something. I said, was it this? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد Allah. Yeah, he said, oh, that is so beautiful. I said, you know what? Allah made that beautiful for your ears because it's not great. He said, well, I like it. Look at this. This is something amazing about people. These are not Muslim people. But maybe after we look at some of the translations, we can figure out how to help people. Are you with me on this? Everybody ready? All right. First things first. In the Quran, in chapter 3, verse 19, it says, in Arabic language. Inna dina indallahil Islam. Check, will you mind your wrist like that?
إن الدين عند الله الإسلام.
MashaAllah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now, the translation says, for sure, for sure, the only religion with Allah is Islam. Now, is that correct? Is it? I'm going to say no, it's not. Because you're treating the words of Arabic as though they're English. The word deen actually means a way of life. But never mind that. We'll leave religion there. But it says, Inna dina indallahil Islam. That's the Arabic. The last word, Islam, you didn't translate it. You left it in Arabic. Do you know that most people don't even know that Islam has a meaning? They thought it was just like a noun. They thought it was like Christianity, named for Christ. Hinduism, named for the Indus River. Buddhism. So Islam, it's like an ism, but it's got the is first. Ism. If we translated it and said what it means, look what happens. The only way of life, I'm going to say it my way, okay? The only way of life with Allah is to surrender to Him, submit to Him, obey Him in sincerity and in peace. Now, what Christian wouldn't agree with that? They have to, because it's in their book. In their book, they have the Lord's Prayer, which says, in the Lord's Prayer, God's will be done on earth. Not my will, God's will. So you want to do God's will? Yeah. You believe in God? Yeah. So you should not insist that they say Allah. If they want to know Allah's name, then we tell them Allah. That's His name. But is He the God? Yeah, He's the God. If you're talking English. But if you're talking Arabic or Urdu, you can use Allah because that is understood automatically. These small things, you're saying, well, it's small. Oh yeah? How small is it? It keeps people away from Islam. I think that's pretty big. And Shaitan is very happy to keep people out of Islam. Out of what? The peaceful surrender to God's will. If I said peaceful surrender to God's will, you'd understand what I'm saying, and so would they. Does that make sense, Church? You agree? And he was not paid to say this. Alhamdulillah. So when we talk about people coming to Islam, one of the things they asked me to talk about was about coming to Islam. What's the experience? What leads up to it? Allah guides people whoever He wants to. But sometimes He guides them in a backward way. In my case, I was trying to convert a Muslim to become a Christian. But he was very wise, the Muslim man from Egypt, like this one. Yeah. And this man was able to sit with me for 3 months and listen to me talk. And then whenever I get out of, then he would ask a question. And the question would always have a meaning in it. What do you think? How did everything come about? That's a good question. How did everything come? Where did it come from? Allah made it. Oh, and they say, God made it. Okay. This is what we believe as Muslims, and you believe as Christians. Well, what about the Son of God? Well, wait a minute. We're not even through the Old Testament. What do you think? Then we talk about Ibrahim, alayhi salam, and his sacrifice. And it's the same. It's the same for the Christians and Jews as it is for the Muslims. The concept is that Abraham, alayhi salam, he is willing even to please Allah if God wants him to sacrifice his own son. He's been waiting for a son for like 90 years or something. And he finally has a son, and now God is testing him. Will you sacrifice your son? And even a small boy like I was a few years ago, yeah, careful. Be careful. So this concept comes across to everybody. A man waits 90 years to have a son, and God is testing him. Do you love something in this world, or do you love me more? Will you demonstrate your proof? Will you sacrifice your son? And he was willing to do it. But then God sent a ram, and they sacrificed it instead. Now, the story is a little bit different depending on the translation of the Bible you have, or the translation of the Quran, and so on. It's always the same, that he's willing to sacrifice the most precious thing, and God is just testing him. And that's what Islam is. This is understanding that the whole life that we have here is nothing more than a test. What is our purpose in life? To love and obey our Creator so much that no matter what we have in this life, we're willing to sacrifice it for Him. Is that right? And many people twist that around and try to use it to get people to do crazy things. We know that, right? We don't need to get into that. But the bottom line is that Christians, Jews, and Muslims have the same foundation to start with. That is well over half of the world. But the other half of the world, they also have something like this in their mind. Something like, where did everything come from? Is there really a God? And if there's a God, what does He expect from me? Why did He create me? And we found out the meaning for it in Surah Al-Dariyat. The meaning of why Allah created the jinn and mankind.
For the ibadah, to worship Allah.
No, it was like the ayah. Come on.
وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون إن الله هو الرزاق ذو القوة المتين.
I wanted him to do it because he knows the whole ayahs that are associated. I just know the first part, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, but the part, I can translate it more or less, but it's saying that the only reason Allah created us is to serve Him in ibadah, our worship. But he goes on to say right after that, oh, okay. What? Yeah, okay. The rest of the verses that he's reading is telling you that Allah does not need or want anything from us, like material things, risk, no provision. He doesn't need our provision. In fact, he's the owner of all the provisions that we have. And he's just making this crystal clear. Guys, I don't need anything from you. You need stuff from me, and I'm putting you in a test to just for you. Now, this is the part that got me. When I got to Islam, I went thinking different. But in Islam, we know that Allah already knows everything. He knows the outcome. In other words, He knows the future. He knows what you will do, what you will do, what you will do, what I will do. He knows. So this test is not for Him. The test is for us, so that on the day of judgment, we have no leg to stand on. We have no attorney to go to the judge and say, no, my client is, no, Because our own body will testify against us. Is that right? Our own body will say, you know what? My eyes are going to say, you know what He made me look at? Oh. My mouth is going to be saying, you know what He made me say? Whoa. And the legs, you know where He made us walk? Oh. Even your skin is going to testify. Now, this is the purpose of this whole life, just to see for us, not Him. Allah already knows who you are, what you're made out of. And by the way, if you're going the wrong way right now, listen to me, I'm talking to you at home too. If you're going the wrong way right now, change the direction, because He will allow that. As long as you're breathing, you can change that direction and be better. You can always change. Don't give up on yourself, because that is exactly the finish. It's only because you gave up. Allah does not give up on anybody. No matter what you did in your past, you can change it right now. Just say, La ilaha illallah, astaghfirullah. There's none to worship except the Almighty God, and I ask Him to forgive me. That's it. As simple as that. Why is it so hard to translate this? The books that we have, I'm going to share with you something that I found out after I was a Muslim. The books in translation we have are not